up in the top left position, we have got the red Zerg player from FL Esports. It is Shibbxyz. And his opponent, down in the bottom right, the blue Zerg, it is Aster. Now, Frost, of course, for those of you who haven't seen this map before, is a relatively large map. We can see the overlord just on its way through. We've got a nice little natural base you can take down here. Then the third, well, you've got relatively, well, it's a pretty average size gap into your natural base. The third you can just follow down. You can come and take this third down here. You've also got this base slightly more exposed up, which is really what I consider more of a fourth, generally speaking, just because of this back way into it. And I don't know about you guys, but anyone who's ever, I don't know, well, I'm assuming lots of you played Warcraft 3. This little bit of trees around here, like trees here, this really reminds me of Warcraft 3, like this part of the map. I can imagine that if they made a Warcraft 4, it would look like this, just have this sort of feel to it, pretty much precisely. So let me know what you think down there. Just tell me in the chat, do you reckon I'm talking complete nonsense, or do you see a Warcraft 3-esque style to this map? Because I certainly do. But what I also certainly see is that there is no early pull coming down from Aster this game, which makes sense, because this map is fairly huge. There's like a massive rush distance, which I would show you on the screen, but even with a pretty high DPI on my mouse, I don't think I can do it all in one. But yeah, this is like a fairly large rush distance, so not going to be able to just run over there too quickly. Aster instead this game going to be going for a hatchery first build. Shibbxyz though being a little bit more cautious. He's getting a pull and a gas up, so things looking fairly okay as things stand there. He's just like, well, I don't want to lose to anything super early game pressure, which my opponent threw at me game number 1. So instead, I'm just going to make sure that actually I get things looking relatively safe. I'm gonna just get that down. That means I get a queen earlier, and that's something which actually Aster never got in game number 1. There was no queen ever placed, which is really quite a big thing all in all, because no queen means no inject, which means you get, well, 4 less lava every 40 seconds, and that's huge. And that's why Shibbxyz was able to outproduce in both Zerglings and drones throughout that game. But Shibbxyz, he's getting gas income, he's getting up close to the 100 gas mark. Is he going to pull any drones? This would be the first one would get pulled now. He's putting one out. Could have just been a little bit late, but no. There we go, done it all perfectly. And yeah, speed on its way. So things looking very, very nice here for Shibbxyz. He's getting speed down. He's got his first queen on the way. The natural nearly finished for Aster here. And he's got his spawning pool nearly finished too, plus just under 100 gas there. So their speed timing's probably going to be roughly about 35 seconds pop, give or take a few seconds. How quickly Aster can hit it, of course, but yep, there we go, 100 gas. Is he going to start up speed? He should do fairly soon, because that's really quite an essential thing. It gives you a lot of map dominance, and yeah, about 45 seconds between the two of them. The pool, the hatchery for Shibbxyz is nearly down. The first Zerglings are running across the map. We can see already that they're making their way across, and they're just going to start really kind of poke and prod. Force a couple of Zerglings out from Aster, but he's already got 6 on the way. The double queen coming down too, so he's not got too much to worry about here, because he's going to be able to hold this off. What you want to try and do with these initial Zerglings is just trying to get your opponent to overcommit to Zergling production. Make them make 8, where you make 6, and that's exactly what Shibbxyz already seeing here. His opponent's got 8 Zerglings on the way out. That means that actually he's now got 1 more drone back at home, theoretically, and that's all something that's you're going to be really quite happy about. But Aster, I really like the fact that he's gone for this Baning Nest and Queen Wall off here. Really smart move. It means that any units that want to come through have to go the long way. They can't just sneak into that horrible, horrible main base where they can do so much damage. Speed is done though for Shibbxyz. It's not yet done for Aster. Baning Nests for both players are getting pretty close to getting their Baning Nest down, so that's all looking fairly nice. Actually, Aster getting a lot of Zerglings out here, and he's not producing any drones, so this could be a Speedling all-in. Could definitely be that. He has actually got, okay, 2 more Zerglings now, 2 more Overlords now in production. He's maxed out other than that, but is he just going to go for the killer? It looks like he is going to. He's on his way. He's got the Baning Nest too. So this is a big bling all in. No drones, of course, is the big giveaway of that. Meanwhile, Shibbxyz, he's straight away getting some defense Banings and the Spine Crawler off. He's got to make sure that he does not lose to this. If he holds this off, he's in a great spot, because Aster just getting 10 more Zerglings up behind this. He's not pumping any more drones. So Shibbxyz has got a massive lead, 28 to 19, but here comes the Banings morphing in for Aster. A really aggressive 2-base all-in play. And I use 2-base very, very loosely because it's really a one-base play because there's nothing really following this up. There's no more drones there. He's only got one base of production. The Spine Call and Queen's doing a nice job. The double evolution chamber wall just narrows this down. Of course, send Banelings in pairs because 2 Banelings kill Banelings, and that's why we can get a mutual trade there. Aster still has 4 more Banelings. He's got to be so careful though because 2 for Shibbxyz on their way, and Shibbxyz just trying to buy himself more time to get more Zerglings out, to get more Banelings out, to try to be able to hold this. He's still got a much better economy than that of his opponent, but unfortunately for Shibbxyz, he's currently supply blocked. The first 2 more overlords only just coming in now. 3 Banelings, 4th on the way here for Shibbxyz. 4 Banelings out there for Aster too. Some Zerglings going for a bit of counter aggression here, but Shibbxyz just going to make sure that he goes for the complete wall off. 2 Banelings for 2 Banelings. Going to try and get the Rotoron down too, and with this, well, it's near complete wall off. It is with the Queen going for the counter aggression as well. He should be able to do some nice damage here because there's really nothing sitting back to defend. The Queen is going to get focused. There are 2 Banelings there. Massive Baneling hits there for Aster. He shuts that down hard, and that is going to be good news for Aster because he therefore is not going to be losing anything to that counterplay. And actually Shibbxyz instead lost an awful lot of Zerglings. The Rotoron did get cancelled now, and instead he's just going to try and get some more Banelings out. Shibbxyz still sitting 46 drones to 22, so he's got a massive economical lead, but he's got to be cautious. Banelings detonating on both sides, but Aster has a lot more in the back there. The Rotoron coming back up, just being like, okay, better get this wall off back down because things aren't looking too safe for me. A lot of Banelings still here for Aster. Now Aster, he's getting a 3rd down. He is now starting to get some drones through, but he hasn't done anything with all of these units. Basically, Shibbxyz has had a absolutely tremendous advantage when it comes to economy, and so as long as he doesn't lose loads here, he should be absolutely fine if these keep going. Banelings now waddling backwards. We've got the double upgrades coming down here for Shibbxyz, of course. 1+1 melee upgrades coming down for Shibbxyz. Aster doesn't have any upgrades, but he does have a 3rd on the way. So many Banelings are getting ready to morph in. This Rotoron nearly completed. Shibbxyz could really do with getting some roaches out just in order to deal with this many Banelings that are there at the moment. More Banelings still are morphing. We've got the lair coming down for Shibbxyz. We've also got the 3rd, about 2/3 complete for Aster. But as things stand, things looking, well, Shibbxyz, the longer the game goes on, basically, Shibbxyz is getting himself into a much better and better position, and that is because of his superior economy. He's at 47 harvesters to 32. That is the closest it's been all game, and that means that his economy is just going to be skyrocketing compared to his opponent. But in it comes Aster. Now he's just running the Banelings straight into the evolution chambers, and all of the Banelings die on those 2 evos, so the upgrades didn't go down, but that meant the Banelings did no damage at all. 0. They cancelled the upgrades, but no economic damage done, no units lost, and that is the most important thing, because if you don't take any economical damage, Shibbxyz now is able to just use this massive bank he's got to pump out a good number of roaches, a good number more Zerglings, and really keep it going. He also managed to keep his Rotoron up, which means he can get himself into a relatively good spot. We see here Aster now panicking a little bit, trying as many Zerglings as he can, and a Nidus network even coming down here for Shibbxyz. Realizing it's a huge map, going to use that Nidus to get resupplies in as quickly as possible. Those reinforcements could make or break the difference between these 2 players. This 3rd hatchery is getting annihilated. Zerglings trying to come down, but Banelings could get huge hits down. 1 big hit goes already. Oh, the Zerglings have got to be so cautious right now. A couple of Zerglings trying to pick up the Banelings. The 3rd hatch will now die. That is a good little snipe off there for Shibbxyz. More units getting pumped out for Aster. The Nidus network is now completed. More roaches are sitting around. Shibbxyz trying to take his 3rd. A Nidus worm is now coming down in the main base. There is no vision over. Aster does actually have the overlord there, so he can see that it's coming down, but there's so many roaches here for Shibbxyz. He's just slowly trying to pick apart any of the Banelings that could be coming in, but as long as the Banelings don't connect with the Zerglings, it's going to be a really nice trade for him. Shibbxyz did run a couple of Zerglings in there, but there's still so many roaches at the same time. Roaches just streaming single file in towards the main base of Aster here. Shibbxyz with a monumental lead in terms of the supply, and there is the GG, and Shibbxyz is going to be victorious, taking this series 2 and